start on the local level, and get involved in the decisions that's happening in your city so we can become less reactive, and that's way more important because I'd rather vote in the right governor that's battling the wrong president. You understand me? And that represents a people that really care about their own community and understand politics. So to end that off, right? They tell rich people lobby, poor people vote, right? And it's not vote or die, it's lobby and live. That's my motto.
Important vote that's not being hyped up? Is it like who you vote for Supreme Court, or is it the people, your Congress, local, or it really comes down to your city mayors, or you think it's your governors? Like, that's my overall question. What's your outlook on presidential votes? And like, if that's not the solution for you, the person watching this video, then this is what you have to turn to if you really want to make a change. And it could even be to them, but I think that's going to be your answer, But
333 million. I believe it was 333 million. $333 million was the budget for the police in Oakland, right? $0.6 million was the budget for race and equity. The president don't decide that in your city. The city's budget is not decided by the president. So when we're talking about the power of the vote is best utilized where you have the majority and you can have real control. You understand me? So that if you don't have the majority, it doesn't matter where or who you voting for in the first place, because you're not going to win. But when we're talking about local elections, that's when you can organize and exercise some power, right? But if you're going to do that, it's saying also that you're not just voting for who's on the ticket. Put somebody on that ticket, right? Lobby them, right? Organize your dollars and make sure that they're under you so that they owe you when they get in office. That they have a debt towards you, something owed. So that the problem that we look at, we're not looking at the municipalities, we're not looking at the local school boards, you understand me, your aldermans and things of that nature. We're going all the way to the presidency without controlling our communities. And so one thing I like about the Hasidic Jew community is that they show up when it's something that directly affects their community. They go pack it out. You understand me? And so that's where you start to fight for your change. That if you're going to have all of this outrage on who becomes the president, where's that outrage on who becomes the mayor, the governor, right? Where's that outrage on who take up these local positions, the aldermen in your city, right? Because if you have all of those people in place strategically, now you got control, right? Now you can decide the city's budget, you understand me, which is going to be counted for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years. That's where power comes into play. And this is why a lot of black folks historically, lost interest in the vote. It's because they no longer had the power and not lost interest. Well, this is the reason that the voting power was being stripped away from black people, is because they started changing certain things in municipalities and separating them from where black people had the majority in small towns and cities historically. And so that the vote had less and less power. And so they start doing these things to restrict voting rights, you understand me, and start doing these things to relegate the power of voting rights. But on a local level is where that matters the most. So if you're going to focus and get into politics, make sure you start on the local level, and get involved in the decisions that's happening in your city so we can become less reactive, and that's way more important because I'd rather vote in the right governor that's battling the wrong president. You understand me? And that represents a people that really care about their own community and understand politics. So to end that off, right? They tell rich people lobby, poor people vote, right? And it's not vote or die, it's lobby and live. That's my motto. So case in point, Joe Biden's brother bought some land in the Caribbean off an island, and he's paid $150,000 for it, like an acre of land. And then a known lobbyist paid him, I believe, about $100,000 to $150,000 for like a fourth of that. Now, why would he pay that same amount that he paid for the whole thing only to get like a fourth of that land? Why? Because he wanted to persuade the people around Joe Biden, and they was doing basically an expose on why all these lobbyists, you know, are targeting like family members of these presidential candidates, right? And i.e. Joe Biden, especially in this particular case. So that corporations can't vote, so they got to vote with their dollar. So that's why I tell people, and black people especially, is that you got to make sure you get you a corporation so you can vote. What's going on?
What's up?
What's going on? 19 Keys, blessing to meet you. Dap it up. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Tiaji.
Tiaji. Look at your mama calling you. Can't just be talking to strangers now, Chief. Peace, though. You know what I'm talking about? When the energy that good, man, the youth will tap in. You said talk to the youth, I'm talking to them. No, but yeah, to that point though, it's like they utilize their dollar, you know, to get what they want. And we utilize our vote. And these are two systems of fundamentally understanding how power works in America and how the system works in America. So unless you educate yourself on the system of America, you will never have power over it. So if you want to get into politics, young people, start at the local levels, but also never put faith in the system. Have that faith in yourself to where you have your family, you have your business, you have everything ordered and structurally set up. You know, that anything that the system does is a bonus to what you're already doing for yourself.
This question, I don't know if there's an answer to this, but like you.